Herkese merhabalar. Langara College'ın webinar sunumu için toplandık. Şimdi size kısaca bir tanıtım yapacağım. 3 dakikanızı alacağım. Sonra Gregory Vancouver'da şu anda bize Langara College ile ilgili uzun bir sunumu olacak. Sonunda sorularınızı alabiliriz. Siz aklınıza geldikçe sorularınızı sorarsınız yan tarafta. Sonunda onlara cevap vereceğiz. Belki bazı sorulara sunum sırasında da Gregory cevap verebilir. Langara College 1, 2, 3 ve 4 yıllık bölümleri olan üniversite transfer ve direkt mezun olup okuyabileceğiniz sertifika, diploma programları olan bir yüksek öğrenim kurumu Vancouver'da. Vancouver, Kanada'nın en batı ucunda olan ve Birleşmiş Milletler tarafından da defalarca dünyanın en yaşanır şehri seçilmiş çok güzel, temiz, doğa güzeli bir şehirdir. Ben de kendim 8 yıl orada yaşadım. Liseden, kolejden orada mezun oldum. Hatta ben kendim Langara College mezunuyum. Ben de kendi eğitim danışmanlığı temsil ediyorum. Uzun yıllardır beraber çalışıyoruz. Birçok konuda hem bize hem direkt Gregory'e ve onun yardımcısına ulaşabilirsiniz. Çok güzel bir şehir, çok güzel bir okul ve güzel fırsatlar. Gregory şimdi sunumu yapacak. Sorularınızı da sonunda cevaplandıracağız. İngilizce veya Türkçe fark etmez sorabilirsiniz. Türkçelerle ilgili yardımcı olacağım. Hi, Gregory. I am done. So the stage is yours.
Okay, thank you, Onur. Thank you for the introduction there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, I guess. In Turkey, it's evening now. Hello, everybody. My name is Gregory Pokorny. I'm Manager of International Marketing and Recruitment at Langara College, and very honored to be here and happy to share this presentation. Happy New Year to everybody, and I hope 2021 is a good year and we can have a better year than 2020. So thank you, and I'll start the presentation. So I think, first of all, I am working for Langara College, and maybe Onur introduced that Langara is in Vancouver. And I'm just going to go through a little bit about the contents of my presentation. I'm going to take about 30 minutes, and then we'll leave some time for some Q&A and some questions that Onur can help out with as far as translating and interpreting. So, okay, so basically Langara College is in Vancouver, and you can see the slide here with the map. And Vancouver is usually ranked in the top 5 livable cities in the world annual rankings. The regional population is 2.5, and Vancouver is the 3rd largest city in Canada. Toronto is the biggest city in Canada. Montreal is number 2, and Vancouver, located on the west coast, you can see the screen there at the very bottom corner, is the 3rd largest. It's a very multicultural city, very immigrant friendly, and over 20% of the population are born overseas. And unemployment rate usually in BC is lower than the rest of Canada. Now, this is kind of before the pandemic from last year, but normally the unemployment rates are a little bit lower, and there's a lot of jobs for the citizens. Okay, so I'm just going to talk briefly about the education plans, just to give you a brief introduction. And I think many people know that there's, university, which usually consists of 4 years or a bachelor's degree. And also in British Columbia, there's what we call the associate degree, and then you can do the 2 years, and then you can do the university transfer, which I'll talk about in later slides. We also have 1-year certificate, 2-year diploma, and we also have the post-degree diploma. Now, many people ask me or email and ask at fairs and contact me, and they say, I want to do a master's, and I have to do a master's. And I just have to make a distinction that in Canada, the masters are done at universities. Langara College is a community college, so we do not offer master's degree programs. The highest program that we have are what we call post-degree diploma program or postgraduate diploma program. These are 2 years. These are not masters. These are not PhDs. So if you're interested in masters, PhDs, I cannot help you because Langara does not have these programs. They have post-degree diploma programs, but they do not have masters or PhDs. For those, if you really want to study those, you do have to check out universities. So we get also a lot of questions about why college, and there's a lot of choice, and usually flexible study options are available at colleges, and also at the college is very adaptable because the class sizes are small. So it's kind of like, yeah, it's a step up from high school, of course, but once you get to college, the class sizes are small, and you're not sitting in a lecture hall with 300 people or 200 people. Usually it's 35 students or less, and you're able to concentrate on your studies. For the grades, Langara works on an open access policy, and the requirements are not as strict. So normally if you've graduated high school, you meet the English requirement, then you can be admitted to Langara. Another reason that the college is good is course load. And what I mean here is Langara works on a tri-semester or 3 semesters a year. So you can spread out your courses so that you can concentrate on your studies and be able to spread out your courses and still work and still maintain your grades. And final one is the investment, the tuition, and I'm going to talk about this in the next slide, how college can be more affordable than university. So this is an example from fall 2020, but you can see here the tuition fee comparison for international students. Now this is using, for example, the business program. And if the international student goes to UBC or Simon Fraser, these are great institutions, great universities, but the tuition fees are higher. You can see UBC 51,000, Simon Fraser 33,000 Canadian, University of Victoria, another good school, 25,000, almost 25,000. Langara College, for the same equivalent courses, you'll pay $18,762. So if you're doing 2 years at Langara and then transferring to the bigger university, you are saving yourself a lot of money in tuition. Okay, so Langara College is a public community college. That means funded by the government, and you are able to work part-time. And the important thing too is once you graduate from Langara, you are eligible for the PGWP. PGWP means postgraduate work permit. So with Langara being a public college, there's no issues with that as long as you graduate, and then you're eligible for this PGWP. It is, as I mentioned, a public community college. We're located right in the center of Vancouver, which I'll talk about in a second. And our kind of thing is start at Langara, and then you're able to branch off and go anywhere. So this is a map of where Langara is located. And you can see here the map there at the side, and you can see the downtown there at the top of the map. And you can see the Vancouver airport towards the bottom. So we're 17-minute SkyTrain ride. You can see that black the metro line there. We call SkyTrain, which is like a subway or metro line. So there is a stop called Langara 49th Avenue, and at that stop, that's where Langara College is located. It's a 5 to 7 minute walk from that stop. So you can see there the location is very, very excellent location, and very convenient location, and it's right close to all the public transportation. So 17 minutes to downtown, 15 minutes by bus to UBC, 15 minutes by SkyTrain to the airport, and it's located in a very quiet residential area. So Langara was established in 1970. And so it's got a long history. It became Langara College from 1994 and at the current location, but it was originally established in 1970 as part of Vancouver Community College, and then became Langara in 1994. 3 intakes a year, as I mentioned, and as I said, a 5 to 7 minute walk from the SkyTrain station. Those are some numbers there. The annual enrollment over 23,000, and over 90 international students come from over 90 countries. And in any given term, we may have 16,000 students, and we have over 5,000 international students. Just a little bit of some other statistics. These are done by students, and so it's why somebody could consider Langara: smaller class sizes, very interactive learning, a smoother transition to their post-secondary studies. And you can see there 94% of the students satisfied with the quality of instruction that they receive, and 92% felt that they were prepared for further studies. So if you're going to go on to a university to finish your bachelor's degree, then normally those students do very well and are able to make the transfer. And 82% of the students successfully transferred to another institution. And again, there's the tuition for 1 year, 10 courses. 10 courses usually means 30 credits. So you're looking at $18,762 Canadian. So just some pictures of the campus. We get some questions about the weather in Vancouver, and normally people get this generalization that Canada is very cold in the winter. And yes, we're right in January, and it is cold in some parts of the country. But in Vancouver, because we're on the West Coast, it probably has the mildest weather that you're going to find in Canada. So the average temperature in the winter, just to give you an idea, you're looking at between 0 and 5 degrees. These days, right now, the weather is around 6-7 degrees. The low gets to maybe 3 or 2. So sometimes we do get in the minus, and sometimes we do get snow, as you can see from the picture. But probably it is the mildest, not probably, it is the mildest winter weather in Canada. Other parts of Canada can be -10, -15, -20 for long stretches. So 3 degrees, 5 degrees is quite a bit warmer. So just a picture there of the campus. It is, as I mentioned, it's a standalone campus. It's in a quiet residential area. You can see library, the A, B, C building, gymnasium, the T building, which is technology, but there's also coffee shops, daycare, library, and a medical clinic on campus as well. Okay, so I'll just turn the attention to what's important for students and the services for students. And you can see here, one of the most very important and popular centers on campus is the Co-op and Career Development Center. This is important because a lot of the Langara programs do have co-op option. Sometimes it's mandatory, sometimes it's optional. And as a student at Langara, you're able to take advantage of what this Co-op and Career Development Center offers. So there's online job board that just for Langara students. There's career fairs, networking events, a lot of workshops to improve your resume and interview skills and so on. So yeah, there you can see like how it can prepare. So as I mentioned, the job board, resume review, interview practice, the events, the career fairs, and so on. As far as the co-op programs at Langara, sometimes, as I mentioned, it's mandatory or optional. You're paid for the work, so it's full-time paid work in your area of studies. Usually this term lasts for 16 weeks or almost 4 months, and you apply the knowledge that you have gained in class, and you develop those professional skills, networking. And instead of going to class, you're submitting a work term report instead, and you're able to still work your part-time 20 hours a week off campus. Some of the other services, mentorship, a lot of clubs, a volunteer program. We do have a lot of we have quite a few international student coordinators that can help you with the registration of courses. They can help you with immigration advice about your study permit, your PGWP application, and so on like that. And we have also in orientation and athletics and intramurals. Scholarships, get a lot of questions about scholarships, and Langara does have a number of scholarships, but most of these are, almost all of these are for current Langara students. So these are awarded to students for academic achievement based on merit. There is no entrance scholarship program at Langara College right now. We are working on one, but right now we do not have the entrance scholarship program. So the ones that are available, those are as soon as you're a student at Langara, every term, every department, there are a number of scholarships, and these range between $1,000 and $2,000. As far as accommodation, Langara does not have a dormitory or residence on campus. Langara does have a dedicated homestay department, so they are Langara staff, and they can help with as far as finding a family. to live with. In that case, it's a maximum 2 students in a house living with a family. You would get your own private bedroom. You share the facilities, and the meals are provided, and you're able to live with the family, practice English, explore Vancouver with your host family, and so on. So if this is something that you're interested in, you can let me know, and then I can put you in touch with the homestay department, and they handle everything, everything from airport pickup, the application, and everything like that. So there's a lot of virtual support because right now, because of the pandemic, everything is online. So there's online tutoring for writing and research, study skills, and there's a lot of counseling for personal, career, academic counseling. That's all done. Basically what you do face-to-face before, you can now do online through either Zoom or through some other online platform. So these are just showing you, these would be the face-to-face on the campus, but these have all moved online now. Clubs, there's over 50 clubs at Langara, so you're able to join a club, you're able to meet new people. You can start a new club, whatever you're interested in. It's a good way to get involved and meet other people, other fellow students. Langara does have sports teams. These are Langara college sports teams. So you can see basketball and soccer for male and female, and we also have golf. So these are like student athletes. They are all students, and but they are participating on the sports team as well. And if you are really good at one of these sports, you play on a team, you're like that, you can let me know, and I can put you in touch with the athletic director. And there's some tuition savings for the sports athletes as well, sports team or student athletes. Okay, getting into the programs. One note here about, I'll just spend one slide here about the COVID-19 updates or pandemic. So since the pandemic started basically last year, the summer semester, the fall, were all delivered online. Right now, January intake just started 2 days ago, and it's online as well. There was a travel ban to Canada, basically most of last year, but that was lifted. And Langara is approved by the Canadian government for the COVID-19 readiness plan. So if students do have a study permit to study at Langara, they are able to travel to Canada. Right now for January, as I mentioned, it's online. We do not know yet for May. I think this decision for May is going to be made very soon, and it looks like it could be online, but we'll see what the public health authorities say. And September, we don't know. So I'll just give you that quick update. Okay, so Langara does have a university transfer and a bachelor's degree. We do have actually 2 bachelor's degrees. So this is where you're not transferring. It's a 4-year degree. We have the bachelor's in business administration, and we have a bachelor of science in bioinformatics. We have a lot of career programs, post-degree programs, and Langara for English academic purposes, or LEAP. And I'll talk about each of these in the coming slides. So basically, the university transfer program, this is open enrollment. You start at Langara because this BC transfer system, all the courses are fully transferable. And then you start at Langara, and then you complete your degree at a bigger university. Langara is the largest transfer institution to UBC. UBC is a globally ranked university. I think it's in the top 40 universities in the world. But it's not easy to get direct entry into UBC. So you can use Langara as a pathway, start at Langara, and then transfer to UBC. So this is how the process works. You do start at Langara for year 1. You can do year 2, complete the associate degree, 60 credits, then transfer into year 3. And then that's at the university, and then you complete the 120 credits, and you get your university degree. So it's like a 2+2, 2 years at Langara, 2 years at the bigger university. One note is some people confuse, they think they start at Langara, and then when they go to university, they're starting over. That's not the case. Your credits are transferable. So if you've done 1 year at Langara, then you're transferring maybe into year 2 at the university. If you've done 2 years at Langara, then you're transferring into year 3 at the university. So yeah, that transfer all through universities in British Columbia, but you can also transfer to the universities outside of the province. You can see some examples there: McGill, University of Toronto, Queens. I know owner who was a former Langara student. He had transferred to a university in Ontario, and he can talk about that as well. So he's a case in point.
Would you want? I can tell about it very briefly.
Go ahead.
Yes, in English, in Turkish I should do, if you like.
Turkish.
Yes. Transfer konusunda birçok insanın endişesi oluyor. Acaba dersler transfer olur mu diye. Öncelikle BC CAT var. British Columbia içinde. O eyaletin içindeki üniversitelere transfer çok kolay. Direkt transfer olan derslerin ne olduğu, üniversitede hangi derslere transfer olduğunu oradan görebiliyorsunuz. Diğer eyaletlerde de eğer transfer etmek isterseniz orada da bazen ders tanımlarını istiyorlar. O da kolay bir işlem. Ben York Üniversitesi'ne geçtim ve 63 kredim vardı. 2 sene 30'ar krediden. 3 de fazla vardı. Maksimum 60 kredidir. 60 kredinin hepsini transfer ettim. 3. sınıfa devam ettim. Kolay bir işlem. Not da 40'lar 50'ler değil tabii ama 90 gerekmiyor. Yani 65-70 gibi bir ortalama getirmek kişinin durumuna göre, diğer sosyal aktivitelerine, temel derslerine göre değişebilir ama 70 ortalama civarı kafi. I just explained it's not difficult in BC. It's easy with BC CAT, and they're scared about the GPA requirement. I said you don't have to get 90, but you can't just transfer with 50 GPA, like out of 100. You have to get.
Every university has the requirements, so you do have to meet the university requirements. So yeah, sometimes students ask, well, do you guarantee the transfer? Well, we can't guarantee that, because if you come to Langara and you don't go to class or you sleep or whatever, then no university is going to take you. So you just have to meet the requirements. But I mean, normally it depends on the university and the program you're transferring to. And as far as going outside of the province like you did, you do have to check with the university to make sure they accept Langara credits.
They asked me for course descriptions, and it wasn't so difficult. I just downloaded from the Langara College website, and they checked everything. They said it's fine. It's not so difficult.
Yep. Okay, thank you, Onur. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'll continue. I'm almost getting close to the finish.
Okay.
Okay, so for the university transfer, I mean, the slide just shows these have all the, you can see a number of courses that you could take for university transfer or associates. So everything in arts and business, social science and technology, humanities and social sciences, and so on. For Langara, for the career programs, when we say career programs, we're talking about the 2-year diplomas or 1-year certificates. So these are more limited in enrollment, more practical education and hands-on learning. And some of these can be competitive based, so limited seats, so it's better to apply early for these. And you can see here for these, everything, again, a wide variety, everything from computer, business, journalism, kinesiology, all the animation, early childhood education, criminology, and then 1-year certificates. So these are 1 year in duration. You can see film arts, education assistant, and so on. So quite a wide variety there. And as I mentioned earlier in my presentation about the post-degree diploma programs, and remember, Langara does not have master's programs, but for the post-degree programs, these are limited enrollment. The main requirement is you do need an undergraduate degree. You do need a bachelor's degree. So if you do not have a bachelor's degree, you will not be eligible for these post-degree diploma programs. So these are very practical education. Most of them have the co-op or a work term, and it's best to apply early because they're limited cohort size. And these are the 10 post-degree diploma programs. You can see business, marketing, accounting, supply chain and logistics is a very popular one. And you can see web and mobile app design. There's 2 streams here: web and mobile app design, web and mobile app development, data analytics, health and safety, nursing practice in Canada. And this nursing practice in Canada means you have to have a bachelor's of nursing or diploma in nursing in your home country, so in Turkey, and you would need to have a license, and then you could apply to this program. Langara does have English language requirements, and most of these can be, this is not all of them, but Normally for IELTS, we take IELTS Academic, not IELTS General, and you need a 6.5, no bands lower than 6. For the Category 2, Category 3, 6.5. You can see the TOEFL. For May 2021 and September 2021 and possibly January 2022, that's still to be determined. But for May and September, we are accepting Duolingo. You do need a 110 score for Duolingo. If you do not meet the requirement for English, we do have the LEAP program, the Langara EAP. This is for those students that need to improve their English. These normally are 7-week sessions for a level. There's 8 levels, and that's how some students, if they don't have the English requirement, they can start their program with LEAP and then get conditional admission to other regular studies program. Langara does have a Center for Entertainment Arts, or CEA, and these are mostly dealing with those diplomas, 2-year diplomas in animation. So 3D animation, visual effects, game design, game technology. Vancouver has a very a big kind of a film industry, animation industry. There's a lot of studios, and so these graduates are very normally sought after they graduate for jobs, because there's a big demand for those in a big industry in Vancouver. But for the main requirement for here is you do need a graduation, and you do need a portfolio. So if you're into this kind of animation and arts like that, you could also consider this. Okay, briefly, what's next after graduation? I mean, there's a lot of high demand occupations in Vancouver. You can see everything there, like the business, supply chain, animation, film industry, which I talked about, web design and development. But in BC, the labor market outlook for the next 10 years is quite strong. You can see this graph here. I took this from the Work BC labor market outlook. And in the next 10 years, they foresee about 860,000 new jobs in BC. Some of these are replacing people that are retiring, but a lot is because of economic expansion. But you can see there, for those jobs, you're going to need some kind of credential. So a diploma, certificate, apprenticeship, bachelor's degree, professional degree. Almost 80%, 77% of those will need some kind of credential to be eligible for those jobs. Okay, so just wrapping up here, the application procedure. You do need, submit a proof of graduation. So your high school diploma. If you're applying to PDD, you do need to submit your bachelor's degree and transcripts. When we say official transcripts, we mean we need a scan of the official transcript. So a color scan, PDF format. If the transcript's in Turkish or another language, we do need notarized English translations as well. You need to submit your English proficiency requirement, and then possible additional requirements depending on the program. You can see there. Normally, we apply through EPBC, the Education Planner BC website. And once everything is submitted there, document evaluation, it takes about 2 to 3 weeks. Sometimes sooner. Right now, there's a little bit of a backlog because of the holidays, but we're working to get that back down. Once everything is submitted, the email offer letter is issued, and then the student decides, okay, I want to apply there, I want to go there. Then they have to pay an initial tuition deposit of 6,000 Canadian dollars. Once Langara receives that 6,000 Canadian dollars, then the official letter of acceptance is issued, and you apply for the study visa from your country, from Turkey. So once the visa is approved, that $6,000 that you already paid for your tuition deposit, that goes toward your first semester. After that, you pay as you go, semester by semester. If the visa is refused, I mean, hopefully not, but it happens sometimes. If it's refused, then we need the refusal letter. You submit this before the deadline, and then you get the full $6,000 tuition refund. So just finally here, why Langara? I mean, I've talked about it's a public institution. It has a great location, central Vancouver. which is one of the most beautiful cities, livable cities in the world. Largest transfer program in BC, smaller class sizes, lower tuition fees, a wide variety of diploma, certificate programs, and career-focused training, EAP on campus, and able to work off campus 20 hours a week during your studies, and you're automatically eligible for the postgraduate work permit, as I mentioned. So there's my contact information. As I said, my name is Gregory Picorni. My email there, gpicorni. I think this webinar is being recorded, so you'd be able to see this, go back and look at it, or take a screenshot of this. My marketing assistant is Somaz Marabani. That's her email there, smarabani@langara.ca. And then also you can contact to owner. He can give you his details as well. He's a authorized agent partner of Langara College and a former Langara student, so he knows very well about Langara. So I really thank you for your attention, and I think we can open up for some questions and discussion. And so thank you, everybody.
So Gregory, I can just go through the questions and translate and ask you. Yep, and we can answer them.
Yeah, that's fine, sure.
Okay. Any French language requirements to apply? No.
Any what?
French language requirements?
Oh,
no.
No, because so French, I mean, just a brief note here. I mean, Canada is a bilingual country, but mostly French is spoken in Quebec. And so if you were applying to a college or university in Quebec, it would probably be necessary. But because we're located in Vancouver, there's no French requirement whatsoever.
Mazlum, they asked, I'll translate, if we register for September 2021 for a certificate program and we get our visa, and if for any reason or because of the pandemic, we want to defer our start date, it's possible, I believe.
Yep. So once you once they pay the tuition, like say they pay the tuition deposit, then they get the LOA, they get their visa, but they need to defer because of the pandemic or some other circumstances. So yeah, you can just defer. It's a one-page reactivation form, and then their funds are another semester. So yeah, that's no issue, no problem.
Can they defer 2 terms?
Yep.
2 terms possible as well. Okay.
But I think once they defer 3 or more terms, then it's not possible.
And I should also remind them, when they have their study permit approval in Turkey, there's a deadline that they have to enter before that to Canada. So if they miss, they will have to reapply for their study visa. Right. As far as I know. Eğer kaçırırsanız, şimdi siz study permit approval aldığınızda, vize aldınız ve bir onay alıyorsunuz, okuma izni onayı. Yazıyor orada, diyor ki şu tarihten önce Kanada'ya girmek durumundasınız. O tarihi kaçırırsanız tekrar vizeye başvurmanız gerekecektir. Ama kolejle ilgili sıkıntı yok. 2 dönem bile uzatılabiliyor. Deferral denilen şey o. Do you have campus dorms residence? You said no. Is it affordable? Okay. Are apartments affordable in the city? That's a difficult question.
Well, I mean, for that kind of question, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Vancouver, I mean, you lived here, owner. Vancouver can be an expensive city for real estate, yes. But it's a big city. There's a lot of housing. There's a lot of available options, and a lot of suites or basement suites or one-room places or whatever. So it just depends. I mean, normally students can find something affordable. Yes, if you want to live luxurious lifestyle or something, you can find something really expensive, but it just depends. It's hard to say. But it's a big city and there's a lot of options.
Vancouver ucuz bir şehir değil, pahalı bir şehir. Yani samimi söylememiz gerekiyor ama tabii çok lüks içinde yaşamak isterseniz çok pahalı bulursunuz. Farklı opsiyonlar var, büyük bir şehir. Fiyatı daha uygun bir opsiyon bulmanız mümkün diyor. Co-op duration is same for all programs.
Yeah, it's normally like 16 weeks or 4 months. It just depends on the program. Sometimes it's in the middle of the program, like for the bachelor's degree, for the BBA, Bachelor of Business, it's between the first and second year and second and third year. For the post-degree diploma, it's at the end of it's the last 4 months of the program. So it just depends, but normally at 4 months, 16 weeks.
Genelde 16 hafta, 4 ay ama farklı zamanlarda, farklı sürelerde olabilir. Genel olarak 4 ay diyor. What are the admission requirements for business management degree? They can ask this afterwards, I guess, email or...
Yeah, so I think I will have the list of all the participants, and I will send I'll send everybody the Langara program guide for international students. It has all the programs, it has the requirements, the tuition fees, the intakes. Briefly about business management, I mean, you just need to have graduated high school and meet the English requirement. That's pretty much it.
Any math requirements? Is there any? No.
Not for the business, no.
Yani,
sorry, owner, for any kind of thing like applied sciences for engineering, they do look at the math remark. They look at the math, calculus, chemistry, physics. They look at those marks for the engineering applied science. But other programs is pretty much open.
İngilizce bilmeyenler için, yani yazan arkadaş biliyordu ama sonradan bir e-mail göndereceğim dedi zaten katılımcılara. Şartlar, yani işte requirement dediği bu giriş şartları, programa kabul şartları nedir vesaire diye. Liseyi bitirmek gerekiyor. İngilizceye bakarlar doğal olarak. İşte İngilizce, işte IELTS, TOEFL, Duolingo gibi sınavlardan birinden geçmesi lazım. Matematiği sordum, yok dedi ama mühendislik, applied science da var. Onda da fizik, kimya, biyoloji, matematik derslerine bakılabilir istediğiniz bölüme göre. Science ve applied science. I'm thinking for science they probably will look at some physics, chemistry.
Physics,
right?
chemistry, math.
Math as well. Okay. Yeah. Do we have a chance to work during our education? Yes.
Yep. That's based on the study permit. On the study permit, it says you're able to work off campus, so 20 hours a week during your studies.
Kampüs dışı haftada 20 saat çalışma izniniz var. And if I'm not mistaken, during the summer holiday, that's about 4 months, they have full-time work permit.
Yep, that's correct, yeah.
Yazında Eylül'de başladınız diyelim. Eylül, Aralık, Ocak, Nisan. Bunu açıklamıştı Gregory. Nisan'ın 20-25'inden Eylül'ün 5'ine 6'sına kadar 4,5 ayda full-time çalışma izniniz var. Bir de Noel'de. And I think during Christmas, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so during the break, yeah, they can, yeah.
What are the options for language requirements? Duolingo, IELTS, you explained those. You already did.
So basically, the main three for 2020. I mean, for all the time, IELTS and TOEFL are accepted, but for 2021, Duolingo is also accepted. We just haven't. It hasn't been determined yet, but probably for January 2022, also Duolingo, but it's not official yet. But basically, IELTS, TOEFL, Duolingo. For 2020.
And Duolingo, you look at the overall score only, right? No band.
Overall, 110, yeah.
IELTS ve TOEFL'da tek tek bölümlere de bakılıyor. Reading, writing, speaking, listening'de. Ama Duolingo'nun bir güzelliği toplam skora bakılıyor. Ne gerektiğini söylemişti. Sertifika, diploma ve graduate olanlar için farklı. Yani üniversite mezunu özel, lise mezunu özel programlar için farklı gereksinimler var. Onları tekrar yolladığında da görebilirsiniz. Ocak'ta belki yine Duolingo'yu kabul edebiliriz diyor. Eylül'de kesin kabul ediyoruz. Ve skorları görebilirsiniz. Langara'nın web sitesinde de görebilirsiniz. Sonradan sorabilirsiniz. Is it possible to transfer from Langara to a Turkish university? You can't answer this, I think. I mean, we can't, like, you wouldn't know Turkish university system.
Well, yeah, in that case, I mean, I think it's like transferring anywhere that the Turkish university or any university in another country, they would need the transcript, they would need the course outlines from Langara, they would need all that. So that would have to be something they would have to check directly with the Turkish university.
I have some experience, I can just briefly tell them.
Go ahead.
Büyük üniversiteler bildiğimiz eskiden beri olanlar. Bunlarda genelde üniversitede en azından bir dönem okumuş olmanız gerekiyor. Yani Langara College sonuçta kolej, üniversite değil. 2 tane 4 senelik bölümü olsa da. Diyelim ki Langara'dan bir sene sonra siz üniversiteye geçtiniz. SF'ye, UBC'ye, York'a, arasında fark etmez. Orada bir dönem veya bir sene okuyup o transkriptinizi Langara'nın oraya transfer edip sonunda da York'tan veya Ryerson veya UBC'den transkript alıp geçmeniz mümkün oluyor. Ama Langara'dan direkt kabul edilenler belki olabilir. As far as I know, many universities accept if you study at least one term at a university after college. But maybe some new universities, private ones, might accept Langara directly as long as they provide all the details, requirements. We don't know.
We don't know, yeah, but normally, just we'd have to submit the outlines, the transcripts, everything. That was just something you'd have to check directly with the school.
How about alumni job placement rate in Canada? So you placing people, or they're placing themselves, like alumni job placement. I guess they want to ask if you can help them.
Well, that's all part of the Career Development Center on campus. They can utilize that. They do not find jobs for the students, right? But it's just part of, like, they will help them with the co-op spots and so on like that. But they still have to go through interviews. They still have to submit a resume. They still have to cover letter, resume, interview. I mean, it's all up to the student, but once the student uses these kind of services, they can usually find themselves a job and helps them get a job in Canada. Because what works in Turkey may not be the same as what works in Canada, right? You know, how you interview, how you set up your resume, what to include. They give you all this kind of. They have a lot of workshops and a lot of practice for this.
Dediği gibi biz iş bulmuyoruz kişiye ama yardımcı oluyoruz dedi. Türkiye'den farklı olabilir belli başlı şeyler. Mesela işte CV'ler farklı hazırlanabilir. Örneğin fotoğraf, medeni hal, doğum tarihi vesaire yazılmıyor. Örnek. Birçok farklılıklar olabilir. Görüşme sırasında yapacağınız farklı şeyler olabilir. Sonuç itibariyle kolej size iş bulamaz arkadaşlar, ama kolejin bağlantılı olduğu firmalara kolej aracılığıyla gittiğinizde tabii ki bir artınız olur direkt gitmektense. Sonda size kalıyor. I'm saying the college could help you with all this process, preparing resume and interview. Plus, it could be better to go through a college to a company that that's looking for interns than going directly. But at the end, it's up to the candidate to prove himself.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Can we apply for web and mobile development post-degree program after graduation from bachelor's degree in electrical and electronics engineering? I guess it's okay.
It's just any bachelor's degree is fine. Yeah.
Şu an Ankara'da VC'de okuyorum ve son dönem mezun olmak istiyorum. Acaba biraz önce bahsettiğiniz Center for International Studies degree. A student is in his last term at the university. Görsel iletişim tasarım, visual creative design. I don't know the exact name. Like he said, VCD. Can I apply for the CEA, the Center of Entertainment Arts? Master's degree again. Master yok arkadaşlar bu kurumda. Onu birkaç defa açıkladı. There is no master's degree. Did we just try to explain?
No, there's no. So the CEA, they can apply for CEA. That's a 2-year diploma. It's an advanced diploma, but it's not a master's.
Master programı kolejlerde yok. O CEA dediği program 2 yıllık advanced dedi, yani ileri düzeyde diploma programı. Bir de arkadaşlar şeye çok takılmayın. Yani master okursam daha iyi iş bulurum vesaire. Kanada'da işler öyle gitmiyor. I'm also saying a master's degree is not necessarily a huge plus for you to find a job. If you go to this program, you might be hooked up with a lot more people in the industry. Employers do not look for just masters. It's not important, right?
Especially for animation. I mean, they want somebody that has that kind of specific, animation experience or program. So it's a very advanced diploma. So that's where the studios are hiring those graduates for sure.
Stüdyolar hep bu programların mezunlarını alıyorlar. Çok spesifik bir eğitim veriliyor. Master'a takılmayın. Gerçekten de böyle durum, biliyorum. I explain. Is IB diploma from high school accepted in Langara? Yes, I guess. Right? IB diploma doesn't matter.
Yep.
IB
it has to be ID like higher level diploma. Yes. So it has to be the IB diploma. If it's just IB certificate transcript, it has to be the IB diploma though.
IB diploma olması lazımmış. Sertifika gibi bir şey değil. Yani ileri seviyede IB olması lazımmış. Bunu sonradan tekrar iletişim kurup sorabilirsiniz. Do you know the minimum grade for it, or any information that you can give? A minimum grade? Minimum GPA requirement?
There's no like minimum, like we need a certain 25, 30 or whatever like that for IB, but it just depends on some things. For English, you need a minimum grade of 4, but normally if they just got the higher level diploma, they have a certain grade, then that should be fine.
Do we have to send our bachelor's degree to West World Education Services to apply for the post degree? No.
No. We just need a color scan of the bachelor's degree and the transcript.
Sadece renkli transkript ve diplomanın kopyası gerekiyor diyor. One person you already replied. What are the steps to apply to Langara College? You said could we possibly get help from anybody in charge? And you said please write to me, right?
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
I'm going to write to just as I said to at the end of my presentation, I'll have everybody's email that attended this, and I'll be sending information, the program guide, the application process. Also, owner, I think you will also you'll send an email to everybody in Turkish. So don't worry, we'll be in touch for sure.
Hem kendisi e-mail atacak hem ben Türkçe e-mail atacağım. Langara College'a başvurunuz için yardımcı olabiliriz, hiç sorun değil. Kolay bir işlem o. Ben yardımcı olabilirim de size. Herhangi bir ücret almadan da yardım ediyoruz bu başvurunuza. The difference between college and university is a long one, but if you want, I can go very quickly in Turkish, like 30 seconds. Or you want to do it?
Well, yeah, like I just talked about, like, I mean, in Canada, I mean, they both offer like degrees and diplomas and so on like that, but universities more like bachelor's degrees, masters and so on, and they're a lot bigger usually. Like colleges have for a lot of more like diplomas, certificates, even some bachelors, but normally the class sizes are smaller, the tuition is cheaper, like that.
But I just want to tell them that, you know, I was a Canadian citizen, and many people, Canadians, they preferred college first as it was easier, as it was cheaper. So maybe I can point out to that. Kanada vatandaşları da birçok sefer, benim çok arkadaşım üniversiteye kabul edilmelerine rağmen ilk koleje geldiler. Kanada vatandaşlarına da eğitim ücretli, tabii daha ucuz ama ücretli. Ve onlar da ilk koleje gittiler. Daha küçük sınıflar, daha rahat eğitim, daha ucuz. Fakat dersler birebir aynı, kitaplar aynı. Biz aynı yerden kitap alıyorduk o zaman. Yani o zamanlar hep işte elektronik değil kitaplarımız vardı ve bir sürü öğrenci vardı kolejde. Üniversitelerine koleje gitmeye karar vermişlerdi. I'm saying the courses are mostly like about the same. The books are the same. It's the same education, but in a different format and much cheaper.
Yeah, and as I said, like whatever courses you're doing in first year, second year Langara, those are fully transferable. So if you're doing microeconomics, first year microeconomics, it's the same as what you would do microeconomics at UBC or SFU. So it's just you're using the same textbook. The credits are fully transferable.
I think they also have. I'll translate that now. But I think they also think about it in terms of if I go to a university, whatever grade I get, you know, I'll end up at the university, I'll graduate. No, if you get low marks, you go into probation. You have to keep up anyway. So there's no, you know, risk in going to college. I always explain that.
Yep.
Yani dersler tamamıyla transfer olabiliyor dedi birinci ve ikinci senede. Mesela microeconomics dediğimiz işte mikroekonomi okuyacaksanız fark etmez diyor, orada okumuşsunuz. Kolejde daha rahat bir eğitim, daha ucuza alırsınız. Üniversiteye kapak attım, mezun olduğum yok. O çok önemli. Öyle 50'lerde 55'te kaldınız diyelim. Geçiş notu 47 gibi bir şey yok Kanada'da. Onun için hani ben üniversiteye gireyim ki en azından 4 senede bitiririm iyi olmasam bile. Öyle değil. Onun için koleje gitmekte hiçbir risk yok. Düzgün çalışın. Bir de Türkiye'deki gibi 12 ders verilmiyor. 15 ders, 10 ders bir dönemde. 4 ders alıyorsunuz. Maksimum 5. İyi not almamanız için hiç çalışmamanız lazım. Onu yapacaksanız hiç gitmeyin zaten. Yani bundan endişe etmeyin kolejden. Difference between college and university. Living expenses in Vancouver, is it more expensive than? Oh,
I just wrote it. I just wrote an answer there. Yeah.
They're comparable. If we could not find a place to grow up, then what happens? Okay, you explained. When we choose to stay with the host family at first, can we change the family afterwards or move to another type of accommodation?
Yeah, so you do have to, for that, I saw that question, for that you do have to, if Langara Homestay sets that up, they can arrange for another placement, but I think you do have to stay a minimum 2 months in one place, but normally, they'll work to make that situation better for the student.
And they can also find homestay through other means, through their agency or.
Yeah.
If you remember, we also do placements for students.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Biz de homestay placement yapıyoruz öğrencilere. Ben Vancouver'da uzun yıllar yaşadım ve Türkiye'den gelen öğrencilerin hassasiyetlerine uygun da ev rahatlıkla bulabiliyoruz. Bizde de öğrenci değiştirebiliyor. Mantıklı bir sebep olduğu sürece birinci ayın sonunda ya da ikinci ayın sonunda. Mesela Langara'da 2 ay sonundaymış. Biz bir ay sonunda da değiştiriyoruz. Önemli olan ama değiştirme konusu değil. Önemli olan baştan doğru eve gidebilmek. Baştan iletişime geçiyorsunuz. Sorun bizde hiç olmuyor. Okullar çok öğrenci yerleştirdiği için bazen tabii 1000'de, 2000'de, 5000'de bir 3-5'te sorun olabilir. Onunla ilgili de yardımcı oluyorlar. I'm saying you place so many students, so of course there could be some problems, but some students might not like specific homestays, but you help them, you change. It's not a problem.
Well, and that's why that's the good thing about having the Langara homestay department, because they arrange everything and it's done by Langara staff, or it's not third party. So they'll make sure that the situation is good for the student. They've been doing this for 25, 30 years for Langara College, for Vancouver School Board, Burnaby School District.
Yes. Eğer başka bir şekilde homestay bulmazsanız, acentanızdan ya da direkt vesaire, okulun kendi homestay departmanı olması çok önemli. Langara ayrıca Vancouver School Board, yani Vancouver lise bölgesi, onu aşkın öğrenci, lise var uluslararası öğrenci alan ve Burnaby onlara da yardımcı oluyor. Direkt kendileri ilgileniyorlar. Yani bir üçüncü kişiyi getirmiyorlar koleje. Onun için önemli. Kendileri ilgilendiği şey için de sorun çözebilirler. Başka sorabilir misiniz? Ben eşimle beraber kolej başlığı edersek kalırsak bizde birimizde okey, diğerimizde red olunur mu? Yeah. If I apply for college and if we apply for my wife, if both, I'm not sure if he means if we both apply to college or we apply as one spouse to college and the other person, I don't know, as a work permit or tourist visa, would it be possible that one of us gets a rejection? It's always possible, I think, right?
I can't answer anything about visas because I don't have any say on that. So if they both apply husband wife, I mean, if one gets it, yeah, it's I mean, but probably if in the application they are stating that their legal status is married, and I mean, I don't want to say that they'll both get the visa or they both be denied, but it'd be kind of hard to accept one and not the other. But I'm not a visa official, so I don't know.
Arkadaşlar, bu konuyla ilgili çok fazla bilgi veremez. Çünkü sonuçta kolejin temsilcisi bir vize şeyi değil, temsilcisi, ofisörü değil. Genelde diyor hani biri kabul edilip diğerinin kabul edilmemesi çok nadirdir ama yine de imkan olabilir. Yani bu konuyla ilgili bilgi veremem diyor. The person who was in visual communication design, he's saying he was asking for the Center of Entertainment Arts. Is that a postgraduate program?
No.
O CA denilen program belki böyle şey değil. Üniversite mezunu özel değil, lise mezunları da gidebiliyor. Bununla ilgili
sorry, owner. In that case, it's not a difference between higher level like a post degree, but because it's a specialized diploma, and those graduates are, if they have that specialized advanced diploma, they're looking to be hired, and they are getting hired because it's a big industry in Vancouver. So
Hollywood North, as they say, right?
Hollywood.
Yeah. Vancouver'da çok fazla film çekiliyor ve dizi. Hollywood North diye de bir lakabı var. Çünkü birçok film Kanada'da, ki zaten düzen Amerika'ya benzediği için film setleri orada çok oluyor. Daha ucuz bir de Kanadaları. Orada çok fazla stüdyo var ve bu programdan mezun olanlar çok rahat iş buluyor. Şey yapmayın diyor. Yani bu özel bir program, specialized. Buna özel. Önemli değil üniversite mezunu tek olmaması. Bilgi sonradan alabilirsiniz Gregory'den ya da bana da yazabilirsiniz. Nasıl isterseniz. How can we reach you for our application? You can reach us to Gregory, to me. I'll write my email as well. Sanırım anladığım kadarıyla CA tarafında kendi burs programları var olarak. Kendi burs programları var. The CEA has a scholarship. I don't know. Maybe there is. We don't have.
Yeah, CEA they do have. That's something that the person can contact me, and I can put them in touch with the CEA staff. I don't want to answer that exactly, but they do have some kind of. They do maybe have some kind of discounts or something.
Belki bir indirim falan olabilir diyor bu programla ilgili. Sonradan iletişim kurabiliriz dedi. O da tamam. I'm going back to chats. Okay, if there's any question in chats. So nothing really. Okay, everybody asked in questions. That's good. That's about it. There's no other. That's all.
Okay,
Yeah, no
well, yeah,
yeah.
so I think we're coming up to the 1 hour limit here. So, but everybody, I really I'll just close and just say thank you, everybody, and really appreciate it's a good turnout, over 35 people, and good questions, a lot of good questions. And I put my in the chat box, I put my email there, and Somaz's email, and please owner, put your, I don't know if you put your email there. But I'll be sending everybody some information about the, as I said, the program guide application process, and I'll be doing another. Owner and I will be doing another, I believe, another IEF webinar talk in February, I think, or end of January or February. Yeah, to check. But yeah, thank you, everybody. Do you want to say any closing things in Turkish, Owner?
Herkese teşekkürler bu sunumumuza katıldığınız için. Langara College gerçekten iyi bir kolej. Üniversiteye transfer olmak isterseniz de, mezun olup diplomanızda, sertifikanızda iş bulmak isterseniz de iyi bir kurum ve eğitim kalitesi yüksek bir kurum. Vancouver çok güzel, rahat bir şehir ve Kanada'nın bir tek, hani soğuktan korkanlar için diyorum, kar yağmayan, ılıman iklimi olan ve gerçekten kartpostal gibi güzel olan bir şehri. Sorularınız için her zaman ulaşabilirsiniz bize. Teşekkürler. Gregory'e de teşekkürler. Thanks to you as well.
Yeah, I just okay, thank you, everybody. I just put my contact in there again in the chat box. Thank you, and thank you to IEFT staff, and I guess we'll close for now.
Yes, the next one is on February 23rd, by the way.
Okay. For the one that we're doing, yes. Okay, thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.